this video, I'm going to demonstrate and instruct for a very simple opening movement to any Qigong flow or any morning practice. This is a great way for you to both center yourself, ground yourself, and also start to connect the energy pathways from the lower body up into the upper body and from the upper body back down into the lower body. This is going to be really beneficial for anybody who has like chronic tension in the neck, the shoulders, the upper back, the chest. And the reason for that is that as we move in this way, we're really going to be opening the chest and also opening the upper back in coordination with the breath. It's really important to remember when you're practicing these movements to stay very soft. So the benefit, the health benefit, if you will, the energetic benefit from this comes through the practice and discipline of being very soft and working through the layers of tension while keeping that softness in the forefront of your awareness. So my feet are going to be about hip width apart. I never want to have too narrow a stance when I'm doing the Qigong practice because it can be easy to lose balance. Likewise, I don't ever want to have too wide of a stance, especially as a beginner. The wide stance is more for the lower postures when working into the lower, like horse stance and whatnot. So we're going to keep a nice stable base about hip width apart. In this movement, I like to start with a little wiggle of the tailbone. So I'm just going to gently rock my hips back and forth, sort of like cradling and floating my sacrum just to loosen up my low back and also to loosen up the joints of my legs. Arms are going to start by the sides, classic standing Qigong posture. So first thing is really just checking structure and feeling the alignments, right? Pulling the chin in, pulling the belly in, getting the lumbar curve nice and flat, tipping the pelvis upward, dropping the tailbone, the sacrum down, slight hinging forward at the waist. So I feel very nice and upright and not sitting back, falling backwards onto my heels, but balanced evenly between the balls and the heel of the foot, toes spreading out in all directions. Really connecting with the surface, the ground, the surface that you're standing on. From here, we're just going to follow a simple inhale and exhale. So I'm going to inhale. And then exhale. So just showing the movement maybe 1 or 2 times here before explaining the details and nuances. Gathering in. And releasing and emptying out. Okay, so simply put, when we're doing these basic Qigong movements, in some ways we're always pulling in energy, we're always pulling up energy, or we're also pulling down or emptying the body out. Right, so we fill and then we empty. In this movement, what I'm going to be doing is really allowing myself to root as I pull up from the earth. So there's this sense of like grabbing a 25-pound weight off the ground, but keeping my upper body very soft. So I'm lifting up. My fingertips are going to gently curl in towards my torso to lift my palms up to the sky, right? Pulling up through the center of the palms, keeping the fingertips very light and soft. And then as I approach about the height of my heart space, or a little bit high, maybe my chest, I'm going to rotate my palms back down. And as I do so, again, I'm sinking my energy. I'm draining the feeling of physicality or solidity down through my body, down into my feet. And then at the same time, I'm extending my crown to the sky. So these are things that will become more apparent as you practice. It's not something you have to be thinking about with every time you do the movement, because that'll just be bringing more energy into the head. But the sensation is really that when you lift up that weight, when you pull that chi up from underneath, pulling that chi up from the earth, that there's a feeling of sinking and rooting down, right? Like if you were to lift a weight, you would feel the heaviness in your body if you were lifting the weight properly and really driving your feet and your legs down into the earth. Likewise, as I empty myself and palms face down and push back down to the earth, it's as though I'm pushing onto the surface like a table. I'm pushing down and I'm extending in these very like sort of minute, almost imperceptible ways. I'm extending my crown up to the sky, right? So it kind of becomes a little wave-like motion, dropping down, lifting up, and then pressing down and extending my crown to the sky. Okay, from the side, you're going to notice my elbows, the position of my elbows really in line with the side of my body, my side body the whole time. I'm not super far out here. I'm not pulling my elbows behind my body. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Inhaling in. Rounding those pinkies in. Again, it's lifting this position of the hands, and I'll come in close and show. It's in, it's like a scoop, right? The hands turn and rotate. Now, again, physiologically, what this does when we are soft and a little more fluid than if we were actually lifting a weight using muscle, what happens when I curl my fingers in like that, I'm rotating internally the bone, tendon, all the fascia inside the surface of my skin, inside the body. I'm rotating it very gently and passively. So as that wrist rotates outward, the elbow also is torquing very gently. Likewise, the shoulder internally is torquing as well. And ultimately, the scapula and the upper back are expanding with the inhale. And that's where the power and the medicinal qualities of this movement really come in. Inhaling, opening up the upper back. The elbows are both pulling away. So there's a sense of the upper back is actually expanding and pulling away, the scapula pulling away. The elbows are drawing away from the chest and the upper back to really create space there. And this is where we start to move some of that tension that gets glommed up in the shoulders and the neck and then compressed in and around the thoracic spine. So really opening up the spine. And you'll probably start to feel some of these like oscillations and vibrations in your hands and your arms, maybe even your legs, from relaxing and releasing all that excess stored tension in the body. This is okay. This is normal. This is starting to feel feeling your own life force, your chi coming online. The body's starting to unwind itself. Your nervous system's starting to unwind itself when you give yourself permission to be really soft. So the hands are always really soft. It's almost like I'm holding a baby bird or holding the hand of a small child, right? I don't want to have any tension. I want to be very soft so that I can be led with my awareness, and my awareness can lead, right? We want to be going in all the different directions simultaneously, and the openness and the fluidity of being soft is what allows us to do that. Okay, so please practice. This is a great way to start your day or end your day, or taking a few moments in the middle of your day whenever you're feeling like irritated, anxious, nervous, excited, any of those feelings. You can really just take a moment, pause, find a quiet spot in a park, underneath of a tree, outside of your house, in the middle of your kitchen or your living room, just standing, listening, being soft. Close your eyes if that allows you to really feel more deeply into your experience. And as you start to get more comfortable with the feelings happening inside of your body, you can open your eyes and have a very soft gaze. Okay? So again, breathing in, sinking the body down into the earth. Exhaling, releasing, pressing the feet and chi down through the legs and extending the crown toward the sky. opening the body, coming into softness, releasing tension. Awesome. Thank you so much. See you next time.